What's going on, my good people? This is Lawrence D. Adams. We are here live. Today, if you are in the chat room, let's get it started. Today, I am live, ready to go to the next level. We can talk about some things today. But this is Lawrence D. Adams. We are live today. Got to see if we got a new system, seeing if it's working right. How are you doing today as we talk about the game? You will always have to set boundaries. So we're going to get to it in a few minutes. And not if I need to switch back, I'm going to switch to my other computer. What's going on? Salute, brother. Salute? What's going on? Salute. So we're going to definitely get it going today. This is Lawrence D. Adams, and I'm live today trying a new system, seeing how it goes. How do I sound? What's going on, Jonathan? What's going on? What's going on? To salute to the brothers, to everyone that's in the chat room listening. If you have been here, we're going to have a contest. I'm going to open up my cam and get it rolling. Turn this light on right here. Here we go. 1, 2, there we go. Get it right on me. Salute, sounds good. Okay. What about so we sounded good. Good. That's what I want to hear. Good. Got a new system, trying it out, seeing how everything plays out. Should be a better quality because that's what I'm looking for, a better quality in the stream. So we're looking good, looking crisp. That's what I want to hear. That's what we're talking about. This is Lawrence D. Adams. I'm not sure if my Facebook is coming over. So let's see if Facebook, because I don't see any comments on there. What's going on? What's going on, everybody? If you can see me clearly and it's not lagging or anything, what's going on, my good people? Let's see what's happening over here. Let me cut this off right now. Let's see here. Let's see what we got going. If we got it going today. What's going on? What's going on, Alpha Kingdom? So we got a new system here, trying it out, making sure it looks crisp. Everything looks lovely. I don't like the way that light look, so I'm gonna change it a little bit. There we go, a little bit wider. What's going on? So yes, to talk about today, I'm still working out the tweaking this all out about getting the system just right. And let me do something I can test out right quick. 1 second. Salute. We'll salute everybody. Let's see here right quick. Let me comment on my own stuff. There we go. And see if it shows up. Okay, good. We're there. Okay, that's all I wanted to see. So today we're talking about the game. What's going on? Constant Cooper. What's going on? So what's going on, everybody in the chat room? I'm doing a new system, trying it out, making sure it looks crisp, making sure everything what's going on. So it's going to be a little slower than what it normally is. So I get the system down, then I'm going to probably switch to a little bit, see if it comes out good over here. Okay, it does look pretty good. Okay, good. I'm gonna work out a little bit more tweak. I don't like how it looks. So definitely. So today we're talking about the game. We always talk about the game, and we know that when we talk about the game. Oh, shout out to everybody. If you miss Friday, guess what? I wasn't here. So definitely shout out to everyone. Man, it's hot already. So shout out to everyone that actually Friday I didn't do a show. And so we are live right now, and we're going to go into what we're talking about. And if you have been listening to LDA for over a month, put a 1 in. What's going on, Tish? What's going on? If you've been listening to LDA, listen to what I'm talking about for over a month, I need you to put a 1. 2 months, 2, 3 months, put a 3. So I need you to do that. So I don't want you to guys want that. It ain't lagging now like the old Kung Fu movies. Like, that's good. That's what I want to hear. I want to be looking like an old Kung Fu movie. So if you have been listening to me for at least 3 months, 2 months, 3 months, put a 3, 2 months, put a 2, 1 month, put a 1. It's a reason why I'm asking that. I'm glad it's not lagging like in the old Kung Fu movies. Okay, good. I'm seeing the numbers coming there. I see your question right there. Okay, good. Three. Okay. Like and subscribe. So you're gonna see me doing something. I changed the system a little bit. 1 month. It's a reason why I'm asking that 1 month. Okay. So the reason why I'm asking that, there's 3 months. Okay. Three repeats through. Okay, good. So good. So I want you to realize the reason why I'm asking that because I will have something very shortly for those that are moderators and those that have been listening to what I'm talking about. I want to send something out personally to you. I want to send something personally to you. So I'm going to have an email, and now you have to, and with the email, we're going to talk about from the email. I'm going to send you something. So I would need your address and potentially your date of birth, or whatever the case may be. Well, I want to need your address, but I want to send something special to you. I want to send a thank you to you. So if you've been listening to 3 months, 2 months, or even 1 month, and you've been listening to it consistently, you've been hearing, because I know who's in here and I know who's not in here. So if you've been listening, I want to give you something that I want to give you something. I want to put something in your hand that said, I appreciate you. And so I'm going to send something to you. If that's something that you're tapping in, what's going on? What's going on, Motu? What's going on? What's going on, McCain? So if you've been listening to 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and if you've been participating, if you have been participating in the chat room, you need to let me know that too. If you've been participating in the chat room, you need to let me know. If you've been participating in the chat room, I'm like Santa Claus right now. I know who's been participating. I know who hasn't. So if you've been participating in the chat room, you need to let me know today. If you put a zero if you've been participating in the chat room. You know you've been participating because it's a reason why. Because I need to go back and look at this and I need to see who's. If you've been participating in the chat room, let me know. Put a zero. Why are you saying a zero? It's a reason why. You know you've been participating. You put comments. You're interacting. You leave comments after the video. You need to let me know. It's a reason why I'm trying to weed out. I know who's been here and I know who hasn't been here. But I need you to put a zero in the comments right now. If you've been commenting and participating in the chat room. Thank you. Yes, you have. And we're gonna go to the next thing. It's a reason why I'm doing it. We're gonna get to the game. We're gonna drop down. Good. Okay. Thank you. Yes, you have, Charlie. Yep. Zero. Thank you. So you've been participating in the chat room. Thank you. It's a reason why. There we go. It's a reason why. So now, thank you. Yes, you have. Yep. You've been commenting. You've been participating in it. It's a reason why I'm saying all this is to get. There we go. So yep. So this is what we're getting at. If this the next one, and I want you to put a 5 in there. If you at any time gave it a super chat, looking like listen, no participation, just looking and listen. No, listen. There's no problem. If you have given a super chat or a Cash App or a PayPal, put a 5 in the chat room. It's a reason why I'm doing all this. Thank you. You giving a super chat, or if you have given in some kind of way to what we do here, put a 5 in the chat room. If you're giving $1, you're giving in a super chat, a Cash App, PayPal, anything, any way form you had given, put a 5 in the chat room. It's a reason why I'm doing all this. You'll see. It does look clear. It looks much better. It's a reason why I'm doing. If you did that. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to. So when I give this to you, is my appreciation to you. Thank you for everyone who are participating in that. So let's get the reason why I want to do that. In a couple weeks, for those who have participated, for those who've been listening to what I've been sharing here on Recharging Manhood, for those who have given in any shape or form that I know has been here, I want to put something in your hand. It's just a small token. I just want to give it to you. I want to mail it out to you. That's where I want to mail it out to you. And it's just a little something I want to give to you, and I'm going to do something else. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I want to mail out to you something to you. So let's get into the game. So the game. So let's when we define game over here, we defined it clearly as what? Strategies. We know when we define game as strategies. Why do we define it as strategies? Because it's a strategic way that you move. How do we define game? Five. Yeah, I see you. Yep. So I want to make sure I put something in your hand. So when we define game, we define it at what? As strategies. Why do we define it as strategy? Because it's a strategic way that you move. But when you have game, now this is the thing. Most people look at game as what? Some kind of trickery, or you're trying to manipulate something and all that kind of thing. No, no, no. When we talk about game over here on Recharging Manhood, because this is a men's channel that women did participate in. What do we say? We say that game is just strategies. Everyone exercises a strategy in what they do. Say that no matter what you do in life, business, so game is not just predicated to what? To relationships. It's predicated to every area of life. Why are you on repeat, LDA? Because I want you to get it. I want you to soak up what I'm saying, because you don't get it the first time. So game is just not what? Predicated to what? To just relationships. And say, why do you have to play games? It's not playing games like a child plays the games. It's understanding game is just psychologically, sociology put together, and how people interact and how people move. So that's when I think a lot of people miss when they hear the word game, because they hear it in the context of what? How it was used maybe in the street, how it was used if someone uses it to trick somebody. But we're talking about understanding what? How it works, what psychologically and sociologically, how it works. So now we go into the next thing. What you will always have to set boundaries. First, you always know how I'm going to teach. Boundaries always starts with you. Many of you guys, you want the game, you want to do this, but you have not set boundaries for yourself. You have not set boundaries for yourself. What do I mean, set boundaries for yourself? You have not set parameters for your own self. You have not set what? Parameters for your own self. And when you don't set parameters for your own self, you're bound to do anything. Let me say that again. When you don't set parameters for your own self, demarcations for your own self, guess what? Your game is ineffective, because you have the possibility of doing anything at any time. When it comes to business, there's certain things you can do and certain things that you could not do. That's why you have to set boundaries first with yourself. If you do not set boundaries for yourself, you will just haphazardly do anything, get involved in anything, participate in anything, because you have no set boundaries for who you are and what you do. When you do that, you will experience game on a different level, because game always starts not with the other individual or who you're dealing with. It always starts within you. So you have to set boundaries. You have to set boundaries for yourself. You know you can't go to certain places or do certain things, because you got to set boundaries for your game. And this is the thing. A woman will know when you set boundaries. Or what? See, when you have boundaries for yourself, there's no problem. What's going on, William? What's going on? When you have boundaries for yourself, guess what happens? You move through life at a level of integrity that others may not. There's what? Let me say that. So there's levels. So when you set boundaries for yourself, there's certain things that you just don't do. See, that's the real, remember, the game is always played on you. You got to be the participant of the game, but you got to learn how to what? Set boundaries for yourself. When you set boundaries for yourself, guess what happens? Your life goes to another level. We talked about stratospheres, or we talked about, stratospheres. We talked about different level, different tiers. But most people, when they get over here, they have no game, because they have no boundaries for themselves. They just do anything. They accept any woman. They accept any deal. They accept any money contract because they have no boundaries for themselves. So how can you effectively move in the game? There's always a code. And what's happening is most people don't honor the code that they have. So you got to learn to set boundaries for yourself. If this is making sense to you, let me know in the chat room because I might be just talking to myself. If this is making sense, see, a man must set boundaries for himself. What he do, what he accept, and what he will not accept from himself first. And we're going to go to the next level. If this is making sense to you, let me know in the chat room. You got to set what? Boundaries for yourself. We have people who don't know how to self-check themselves. Make sense? That's what I'm talking about. The reason why you got see the game. See, this the thing. The game. Everybody want the game. Teach me the game, man. Tell me how to do this. You got to realize the code must be first started with you. So when you do the game, when you in the real game, you always have what demarcations or boundaries for yourself. Now we go to the next step where you must have boundaries for everyone that comes into your life. See, the problem is you accept anyone and everyone in your life and they just don't fit. You accept anyone and everyone into your life and they just don't fit. You got, as a man, you got to know, no, that ain't right for me. That ain't good for me. I ain't gonna be able to do that. You have to have boundaries set for you. And I'm gonna go to the next level, how this all plays in part. So you got to have boundaries. So yesterday, I'm gonna give a little example. My sister's going down the highway and she passes the beach here in Cleveland. So she's going past the beach. She said, hey, she calls me and said, hey, these people are out here on the water, on the frozen ice, on the lake, walking. I said, no, I don't believe it. Come on, Lisa. What are you talking about? Yeah, they out here on the water walking. I said, you got to be kidding me. So she goes to my nephew's game and come back. So she takes my niece, who's about close to 2 years old, and they go out to the beach. Now, she did not get in the water or where the water was. She was on the beach part. These people were out here walking near the break wall on ice. The problem is you don't know how frozen that ice was. So they had to send in rescue people to get people from walking out there. Now, this is not just one isolated situation. What happens is it was a more than one situation. People were out there walking on the water, on the lake, even though it was frozen. What does this have to do with what we're talking about? Setting boundaries for yourself so that you don't accept everyone and everything in your life. That's it. So what happens is these people went past the break wall. So if you go past the break wall, potentially either there could be ice and it may not be as thick as it need to be, and you can fall in 200 feet down, and who's going to save you? You're going to be like the Titanic, frozen right there. So I'm telling you right now, with that situation, they did not know what their boundaries. So they went past the boundaries. First of all, you at the beach in the wintertime. You at the beach in the wintertime and you trying to go past the break wall to see you can walk past the boundaries. Let's see right here. It makes a sense. Also keep you from being and getting into entanglements and situations. You weigh out the cost. You do an evaluation. We can accept applications. Doesn't mean that you get a second or third interview, nor does they fill the position. Catch that. Caught that right there. Very good point. So they went past the what? The break wall. So many times, first, let me get it again. You must set boundaries for yourself, but you got to set boundaries for everyone else. Let me say that again. You got to set boundaries for yourself, but you got to set boundaries for everyone else that you deal with. If you do not set boundaries for others, people will run the ramjack over you. That's not what I wanted to say. That's my cousin's name. They will run ham sack over you, run the French toast over you. If you do not set boundaries, that's part of the game. You let the woman know, man, hey, this is what I accept and this is what I do not accept. once you are able to digest that this is how it really works, she will have a better respect for you because she knows, oh, I can't do that. Oh, he doesn't go for that. Oh, he goes for that. Oh, he accepts that. What happens is a lot of guys are not upfront and saying to the woman, hey, babe, I don't go for that. No, I go for that, but I don't deal with that. So she doesn't know. And then she's, no matter what, she's going to always test you. Even a child will test you to see how far they will go. So don't get it twisted. Everybody will test you. But the thing of it is, you got to let it be known. How have you let it be known where you stand at? That's the game. The game is first started within. You have to set boundaries for yourself, but you got to set boundaries for everyone around you. Everything. There's certain things that, as you being a man, that you should not accept in your life. And there's certain things that you should accept. And there's certain things, certain situations, and certain problems that you don't even want to deal with. You shouldn't even deal with. But the reason why people fail in the game or in life is because they never set boundaries when it comes to things. So I'm telling you, the power of it is this. You have to be able to set boundaries for others who deal with you in your life. Does this apply just to relationship? No. This applies to business. This applies to work. This applies to everything that you deal with. You got to learn how to set boundaries. Don't call me past a certain time. It's a boundary. I remember my aunt in New York. God bless her heart. She was Muslim, so may Allah rest her peace. May she rest in peace. You hear what I'm saying? Okay. So you got to set boundaries. So she was in New York. She had a thing. Don't call her past 10 o'clock unless it's an emergency. Don't call her past what? 10 o'clock unless it's an emergency. What? Unless it's an emergency, that's the only time you call her. 10 o'clock is cutoff time. Most you guys accept anything that comes. So she call you at any time. She can talk to you anytime. You got to learn to set boundaries for your life. You cannot be. You have to be able to set boundaries for your life. Most people refuse to set boundaries for their lives, and they allow anyone in any situation to happen. So like my aunt would do, you cannot get to her past 10 o'clock. Maybe a text, if that, but it had to be an emergency. It had to be something really important that you calling her. See, the thing of it is, when you honor yourself and set boundaries. See, the thing of it is, you don't believe that you deserve to have boundaries. Next, that's the one thing. You think if you set boundaries that you will lose the woman. You think if you set boundaries that you will lose the woman. You will do what? You will lose the woman. So you got to learn to set boundaries. Life game demands that you set boundaries. How? Let me go another level. So you have to set boundaries of what you listen to and what you digest. Let me say that again. You have to set boundaries on what you listen to and what you digest. We talk about here information food poisoning. We're talking about you getting information, you getting constipated because some of y'all are constipated with all this information because you ain't did nothing. You got to realize you have to set boundaries on what you get inside of your mind. If this is making sense, you let me know in the chat room. Because I'm about participation. If this is making sense, this is like, wow, I'm understand. Wow. What happened? If that happens, she's not for you. Thank you, William. If she don't respect your boundaries and she just go past them, she ain't for you. You gotta be thorough enough to say, I ain't gonna deal with that. When you set boundaries, it shows a level of self-respect for yourself, and people respond to that accordingly. That's what I'm talking about. You guys are right on the money. Right on the money. See, this is the thing. This is the technical side of the game. So we can talk theory and we can talk practicality, but we're talking about the mindset and what you need to do in action and action part. So when you understand that, you gotta do what? Okay, there you go. You guys are getting it. This makes a lot of sense. This is a great topic, LDA. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. You said selling, drop. You lottie tops and right, right. That's always good to set boundaries. You have to set boundaries for everything. Wow, that's awesome. That's what I'm talking about, Charlie. It's my dude down in Florida. So that's what I'm talking about. Thank you. That's what I'm talking about. So I want you to understand when you set boundaries, you go to the next level. The what? The next level. Because then people know what you tolerate and what you do not tolerate. And most times, guys, let me speak to you specifically. You got to let the woman know what you tolerate and what you do not, and not be afraid. And like William just said, what did he just say? He just said it. He just said, if that happens, she's not for you anyway. She's not for you what? Anyway. So you got to learn to do what? Set boundaries for yourself and for your life. Jennifer, what's going on? Alumni, what's going on? So that's the game. And see, what happens is a woman is always looking for your LEA, what? DER. LEADER. She's looking for that. Okay, John, I'm gonna see. I want you to come in so I can see if this works. Because I'm testing out a new system. See if it works. Boop, boop. Chat. Testing out a new system. Having boundaries means you won't accept any instructions from the next person. It has not aligned with yours. Wow, that's it, bro. I just put the thing in. I want to see if this works. I got a new system. I had to set certain hard boundaries last year, and people didn't respect it. They fell off by default. It will not be tolerated. It will not tolerate, comply, or goodbye. Wow, you guys are getting it. It's part of your personal growth. It's part of where you're going as a man. And I'm speaking to the men because I want you to get this. See, the woman's waiting for your leadership. She can't get part of your relationship until she knows your leadership. Y'all want to get relational, you want to get personal, but you got to have what? Get into the leadership. And leaders set boundaries. They set parameters on how you deal with them and how you proceed. And if you don't do that, guess what happens? See what happened. This is a new way I'm doing it. How does it look, John? I know I changed up something. Can you tell the difference?
Yeah, looks a lot. It's definitely the audio and the video sync is looking good.
They're good.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I wanted to see if it came out. It's clear, isn't it? 1080.
It's 1080, but it's also like you're synced up, like your voice and your picture is right in the line with each other right now.
Good. I don't look like I'm on a karate movie anymore.
Well, it don't look like your body's saying something different than your voice.
I'm the Wu-Tang. But I'm glad but it looks clearer, doesn't it?
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Direct access, Ether, iPad, right too. We're talking technical software. Sorry about that, guy. But there's a reason why, because this is another thing. This applies when we're talking technical stuff, because I want you to get this. I used to jump for everyone 24 hours and burn me out. Here's the one. That's so powerful. I like that. We're gonna stick right there. Let me get this. So we even talk about technical stuff. Even with technical stuff that we're talking about, you gotta know your boundaries on what you can do with certain things and what you cannot do with certain things. So I know, John, I know you got something to say. Yes, we waiting on you. Yes, we waiting on your leadership.
I mean, if you think about it, even when you have a race, you have to stay within the bounds of the track, because if you go outside the track, you might run into a wall, or you might run into some ground that your tires weren't designed for, and you might slip and cause a traction situation with your car. Such is life. You have to look at the lane that you're in and the lanes of others and pay attention to your orientation so that you can have a successful journey on the road that you're on. So, what you have to realize is that when you respect the boundaries, you have a smooth ride in the lane and the journey of life.
That's very true. That's very true. Now this is good right here. Because you know why it's so good? Because I've been there. I used to jump for everyone 24/7 and got burnt out.
It's true. It's true.
Personally, I got burnt out. Jono knows.
Mm-hmm. They make it, and then they make you look crazy. Like, come on, like there's nothing wrong with you. What you did was went past your own boundaries, and you started to satisfy the needs of some other entity, and forgot about the priorities and the necessities of your own. And when we do that, that's why I would say. That's why we would say, take care of yourself first. If you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of nobody else. Nobody's saying to be selfish. That's a whole other problem. We're not telling you to be selfish. What we're saying is look at your limits, look at your boundaries, look at your all your goals and all your potential and meet the needs of those things first. Then you can accommodate what other people, have to offer. And if it's in alignment with what you want to do, then you have no problem doing it. You won't even have to question it.
That's true. And that's it. Don't ever be afraid to set boundaries with women. There are rules that she must follow for her to continue involvement in your life. Despite her initial negativity reaction to it, she'll respect you. You are speaking to respect over love, right? You said what? I got burned out as well. Yep, I've been there. You got to go above
Recognizing
him. Huh?
recognizing that you got burned out means that you had a chance to go back, evaluate what happened, and then come back out swinging in the next round with this new information. You have to be able to evaluate when you're getting burned out on something. Stress is not supposed to be a part of the normal function. Stress is supposed to be temporary. It's supposed to put you in a certain mode of concentration, but you're supposed to get out of it. You're not supposed to be under that constant stress. That stress will lead to what you just said, which is burnout. And burnout is something that you have to recover from. And if it takes longer for you to recover from something, then you shouldn't have been in a burnout mode in the first place.
Boundaries make you presence known. Don't deny yourself the gift of setting them for yourself. Correct. You guys are getting it. So this is the part of the game that I want people to really understand because, like I said, she said it right. Constance said it here. What? Yes, she's waiting for your leadership. And leaders, what? Set boundaries. Now you say, well, I ain't no leader. I don't got no people following me. The first person that you need to follow is who? You need how to learn how to lead yourself.
It's true. It's true. Imagine you have I'm going to give you another visual. Imagine you have a tow truck, okay, and there's a winch on the back of the tow truck with a line on it, right? You can't help somebody in a ditch that's longer than the length of that cable. And in masonry, it's called a cable tow. You can't help somebody out unless you have the length to extend into that direction. You could put yourself in danger if you try to go beyond the boundary of the capability of that particular function. And your capabilities have limits. And we're not saying that you are limited, meaning you are not as great or as good as anybody else. No, you have your own temperature that you're at. Everybody's at their own speed, their own temperature, and you should not exceed that because it's bad and harmful for you, not that you're not capable.
And see, and that's the thing. But that comes back to what? Knowing who you are as an individual. Anything that we teach over here, it always starts with who? You. Because it's the gospel of what? Responsibility. It starts with you setting the tone first with yourself, then with what? Everyone else. Even when it comes to relationship, when it comes to business, sometimes you can get into a business venture and it goes to the left, or a situation that goes to the left. You got to know, like, it's like you just said with the toe thing, it's past your capability. But you have to be honest with yourself, what? To know when it goes past your limit and say, I can't do that. Let's see what Constance said. Well, it's not what you do, it's how you do it. Not what you say, it's how you say it. Scripture says that there is a way that seems right to a man or woman, but in the end leads to utter destruction, which is why we watch and pray and try the Spirit by the Spirit. Very true. Very true. That's why you have to first start with who? You. The game strategies always starts with you. It starts with you what? Setting the tone with boundaries with yourself and boundaries with others. But also in how, like she just gave in that scripture in that book, is how you set the tone dealing with others. And I think a lot of people miss that when they come over to you. I want to get the game, man. Why is it ain't working for me? Because you ain't set no boundaries. And she can smell that you respect yourself enough because you go for anything. And don't will what? Try you on. You got to go? Oh. No. Oh, so a woman will try you at any time to see if you really got the what? Boundaries. She gonna do it. Look in the mirror. She will try you. Why? Because she needs to know that if you say she needs to know that your words match up with your actions.
You ever notice how when you get a pet or when you have maybe even a small child, they try you boundaries. They want to know how far they could take a situation in interaction with you. And then when they see your emotions and your mannerisms change and adjust to those limits being tested, they now build a map of idiosyncrasies up against what you are. So when people test your boundaries, you should have your ears up. You should have all your feelers in total awareness, because that's the point where the person's going to have a good assessment of how to deal with you.
Very true.
Even in nature, it happens. As I said, an animal will test you in a minute, but you showing fear or you showing any type of restraint, you can change that whole dynamic.
Once I stopped jumping, people fell off because they were losing you, bro.
Especially if people don't take the same energy it took for you to help them, for them to try and help you. That's a clear sign that the boundaries and the limits are set differently in your relationship. If you could pick up the phone after somebody calls you and they can make a bunch of requests and you go hippity hoppity jumping all over the place for them, right? And then you run into a jam, maybe a serious jam, because maybe you're not the one who pulls the emergency card all the time, but maybe you just pull it, hey, listen, I got a flat tire. Can you help me get this wheel down to the shop? Oh, I'm busy, man. I can't help you right now. And they sit at home. It's one of those things where they don't put the same level of urgency on your situation as they. So they have to have a new set of boundaries in your life.
It's the game, baby. I ain't got my hat tilted right. That's the wrong way. Let me go this way. It's the game, baby. If you don't set boundaries,
you're gonna get played.
What you gonna get?
If you don't set boundaries, you're gonna get played like a fiddle. Like we in a festival right now.
And you the orchestra and didn't even know it.
There's a maestro making you do all this crazy stuff on stage for the whole world, and you burning yourself out. The maestro don't care whether you can finish or not. That's why he got a few people working. He just hope you burn out, and then he can use his backup ready to go. That's why there's more than one. You gotta understand, when you are getting played in your life, there's multiple people that's ready to take your place. So why are you burning yourself out? This happens at the job too. You will burn yourself out at the job. You'll stress yourself out into some type of mental, stress or anxiety. And the second you take a day off, you know what they're going to do? They're going to replace you. They're going to replace you in 5 minutes. So why would you go further than your own limits to satisfy somebody who's ready to replace you within 5 minutes or you getting sick. You might be sick for a week, but they're going to have you replaced in a day.
Jermaine Jackson said it well. Don't take it personal. Easy come, easy go. Some of
That's
y'all
why,
don't even realize it that you're being played.
that's why I told people, even if you don't think first of all, there's a whole thing about deserving rewards. But even if you don't think you deserve it, reward yourself. Okay. If it's Saturday afternoon and you're not at work and you're not, dealing with family or anything like that, take some time to do something for you. Okay. If your budget for that week to take care of you was either going to get some ice cream or maybe, buying your favorite meal at the restaurant and taking it home to eat. I know eating out's a big deal right now, so we're not really talking about, you know, attending indoor dining or whatever. But what I'm saying is buy yourself a present. Go on Amazon, get yourself something for $10 and ship it to the house. You know why? Because even though I'm not telling you people start a whole shopping thing, what you're doing is you're rewarding yourself for a job well done. The same way you get the paycheck at the end of the week. It's not really a reward, it's called compensation. But the reward is something you do with the money. Remember, I said money's the answer? Money is always the answer. So it's not the question. You didn't have to question how much money you made this week. You knew how much it was going to be. You know how much taxes you had to pay, but you also know your bills, you know all the expenses you have for that week. But the same way you put some money away in the savings, that's given to yourself. You got to put something back for your visual and your subconscious to remember, I'm rewarded, I'm special. So you buy yourself something, like I said, that ice cream, that meal, that Amazon purchase, maybe a pair of shoes, maybe a shirt, maybe something that makes you smile, that you know adds to your value. And the reason why you're doing materialistically is to make an implementation in your mind subconsciously that you are special in your life, and it don't matter what somebody else gives you. What you give yourself is as important as well.
And that's what most people miss it at, because they're looking for, let me get to the ladies. You looking for, some ladies, you looking for the man to compensate you for everything or to give you everything. But what have you done for yourself lately, Janet Jackson? What have you done for yourself?
Women have a real problem. You know that?
Yeah.
Women have a real problem. They don't reward themselves. And when the man can't do it, then it's all the man's fault. How's it all a man's fault? You don't even know how to satisfy yourself.
Well.
You never put the attention and the time in yourself. So you couldn't even give a man the indications of how to make you happy. And then he's supposed to go through the crystal ball and figure out how to make you happy, and you're never going to be happy.
Well.
You don't see the vicious cycle? The vicious cycle is you don't know how to make yourself happy, so you can't communicate how that happiness is achieved through another person, and the other person is doing this guesswork. He don't even want to do it because you don't even show signs of it. I'll show you a perfect example. Hey, what you want to eat? I don't know. Wait, you don't know what you want to eat? So I got to guess what restaurant we're going to? Then when you get to the restaurant, I don't like Chinese food. What? Why? What did I ask you for? You said you don't know. So that means we got to try out the waters, right? It's like an allergy test now. You don't know what you're allergic to, so I'm going to try out every bad restaurant until you say yes. That's a waste of time. Learn what you like. Tell somebody what you like. It happens in the restaurant. It happens in the bedroom. It happens at the job. It happens at lunchtime. It happens everywhere. If you can't tell people what you want, they can't make you happy. It's not their responsibility to make you happy, but you can't get mad at them for ever never making you happy because you don't know how to communicate it. You don't know what happiness is for you first. What is your limits? What are your boundaries? Okay? If somebody puts you in a weird position, you're gonna be mad at them because you never told them you couldn't do that. And I mean that on many different levels. Okay?
Ooh, y'all better catch that one because I didn't went over somebody's head.
That happens in the bedroom. It happens in the office. It happens everywhere.
She getting that.
What she said? Hold on, Jono, because y'all men expect us to read your minds too. Yes, but you know, we're very simple people, though. We're simple people. When we don't like something, we just shut down. And what happens is you can easily detect when we're pissed off about something. Women, totally different ball game. They won't just shut down on you. They'll start asking you questions to get you and steer you into literally driving into a wall. And I'm not saying that we aren't responsible for communicating either. We're actually talking to the guys first. Okay. We're actually talking to the guys first. What is expected of us is to make all these attempts. And if we are expected to make the attempts, then the least you could do was put us in the right direction. And that stands for both men and women. Okay?
That's true. This is the thing. That's why it's called what? Recharging what? Manhood. That's the reason why it's charged, is because the first line of action is to get the man to say, hey, I don't like that. I need this. And most guys, and this, I don't know how we get to this, but it's right there. Most guys, and I said this before, you have to get your voice back. You need to express to the woman, and I said at the beginning, you need to express to the woman, hey, I don't go for all that. Like, if you deal with me, you know that I do not like eggs. And I can eat eggs and some Chinese food, but don't make me no scrambled eggs. Don't make me no sunny side up. Don't make me no egg Benedictine. What? Because my boundary says what? I don't do eggs.
Exactly.
It's known.
Yeah. But you like French toast, right?
I love French toast.
Egg.
Right. Ain't that crazy? Yeah, mama.
Like pancakes?
Enough to communicate is without shame and persecution and humiliation, right? Say that again.
You like pancakes?
I love pancakes.
Eggs.
Yep. Right.
You like mayo? Eggs.
It's funny. Yeah.
It's what it is. It's you. There are some forms of the same thing that we don't resonate with. It's not that you don't like the egg, you don't like it in that form, okay? Ooh. A snowball in liquid form can't hurt you, right? And a snowball in steam form can't ever materialize in the physical in front of you. So there's different forms of different aspects. I know I'm going way over some people's head right now, but see if you can follow me. Sometimes the version of you dealing with the next person is what turned them off, and you need to become the version of you that aligns with that person. If you become the version of that person that aligns with that person, you have a better situation, a better interaction with that person, instead of thinking selfishly about why something didn't work out. Did you become in alignment with that person? Or did you put yourself in a situation to disalign with them? Because I know how to turn somebody off in a minute. I definitely know. Trust me. I've been in a conversation and I know they were trying something with me. I was like, all I got to do is hit it with a couple of mental jujitsu points. And all of a sudden they're like, well, you have a nice day now. I'll talk to you later.
Right.
It's because I know I'm in full awareness and competency of how to communicate the right information to get the result that I'm looking for. And if you don't know how to do that, your life is going to have a lot of challenges, because you're going to think things are supposed to just happen to you that you know won't have the result because you didn't put the time and the effort to learn who you're interacting with. What are their limitations? What are their boundaries? What are your boundaries? And what are your limitations? Did you bring them in alignment? If you can't answer any of those questions, we don't have a conversation to talk about right now.
You just hit on another point. I hope you guys get this. I need you to put this in the chat room, because we got 9 minutes. So in the chat room, I want you to put, I must understand the other person's boundaries. I must understand the other person's boundaries. I must understand the other person's boundaries. See, the real game is you understand. A pimp knows what hoe can get $100 and one could get $1,000 in 1 day, because they understand what her boundaries when she's out on the track. It's just plain and simple. He knows, and you know what? I'm gonna put her over here on 61st Street. I know so and so many giants. He knows what her boundaries are, what she will do, and how much she can make. And just keep it 100. I'm saying in that form so you can get what I'm saying. He knows. Good. You no longer Mr. Nice Guy. You must know the other person's. You must understand the other person. Most of you guys don't understand the woman's boundaries because y'all never talked.
Or you don't care.
Yeah.
That's what most people are going to say right now. I'm gonna get them all. I'm gonna get them all happy about what I'm gonna say right now. Women think that men don't listen, and that's the problem. Sometimes we don't listen because we care about our situation more than them at the time. So that selfishness is in place, and women think, oh, when they detect that selfishness, oh, they think they have to now put out more effort, or at least judge us for not being a care person. You know what I'm saying? I want to get the right word out. If you think that a man doesn't care, you're gonna have two reactions. One, you're gonna say, "See, this is why I have a lot to love to give, but he don't want to accept it." Or you try to put out more effort to try and draw in what he cannot compensate for in that situation. Now, the flip side of that is maybe if he is a closed-in person, let's call him an introvert per se, it is your responsibility to draw him out a little bit. But on the flip side of it, like I just said, you got to do something as well to understand where your boundaries are. Because if you go too far to bring this person out and then you're in trouble, it wasn't worth it. It just wasn't worth it. Maybe this person is not an introvert. Maybe they're just not into you. And that's the thing. When they're not into you and you don't recognize it, you put out all the energy, and then the next guy has to pay for what happened to your last situation.
Good
Not
question.
all guys. It's not. I hear the word. I'm feeling the vibe right now. All guys do this. No, it's the guy you dealt with last, and then when you didn't deal with the next guy right, you could judge him the same way too. But that's not really the case. Everybody has to have their own fair shot.
So
how do you set their boundaries appropriately? I figuring how to self boundaries in my own life, but I've been told my boundaries seem to be forceful and interrogative. Well, guess what? Somebody got to wake up and realize it's you. Okay? That's you. There is 7.5 billion people in this world. I would say this around 100 million times. If your personality is that way, guess what? There is somebody for you. But the more boundaries you put up, the harder it's going to take to get to that one person, that soulmate for you. So you have to make a decision where you want to break down some of your boundaries to allow somebody in. Now, is that boundary a force field or is it a nest egg? We don't know. Have you put up a force field, a purposeful force field to keep people out? Only a therapist could tell you that. But if you built a boundary like a bird would to nest an egg, then that means there's a way to get in, but you're watching the door and you're not going to let anybody in. Doesn't deserve to be and have the protection you have to offer. And that's the point we're trying to make. Just because you open yourself up to somebody doesn't mean they're going to kick you in the ass. It does mean that you can accept their love if you want it, or you can reject it and move on. But make sure you do one of the both, because you shouldn't be unhappy and still holding on to the same thing that doesn't make you happy.
Facts. So LDA After Dark was whispering in my ear. I was trying to tell him to go away. He kept whispering in my ears about boundaries. Like, LDA After Dark, leave me alone.
Hey.
Jono, can you speak on the part where you spoke on the last guy messing things up for selling boundaries? What's going on, Ted?
I mean, think about it. When you set boundaries, they have to have a reason. We're not just telling you that boundaries are there so you don't get taken advantage of. We're telling you that setting boundaries puts you in a purpose of respect. People are going to have respect for you because you won't just bend for anything. Ladies, if a man could pick you up with any line, then you'll bend for anything.
Literally.
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 Now, yeah, that means you have more chalks on the board, but does that mean you were happy? Probably not. Maybe momentary comfort, yes. But setting boundaries means you have a standard, and that standard has to be respected. And when you set boundaries that have disincluded everyone, that's a force field. That is not boundaries. Boundaries is a okay. Think about it like this: if we were in a go-kart race, right? I like the whole race aspect of this because there's a lot of good analogies, right? But if we were in a go-kart race, you could see the boundary, but you could also know to cross it. And that's the thing. When you can see past the boundaries and see the danger that is past the boundaries, you won't take advantage of somebody because you know that that boundary is something that is outside of the normal situation of that race.
You froze up. Is it me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, but you like you froze up. Maybe.
No
Maybe.
Let me bring it back.
It's like it's froze up. It might be me.
Camera just, you can hear me though, right?
I can hear you loud and clear. So let me say this about that. So this even applies to the BAD. There's certain boundaries that women have in the bedroom that she may have with you, but she may not have with the other guy.
Let me come right back.
Okay. I like to have a club. I like having a club with a dress code per se. You set the standard for the crowd you entertain in your circle club. Who do you really want in there? Correct. And I think a lot of people are afraid to set boundaries because they're afraid that they're going to offend someone. They're afraid they're going to mess up with someone. You as a man first must set boundaries. Frozen, but I hear it. Okay, I don't know what happened. As long as if I'm frozen, let me know because it could be me. So I think a lot of times, even in the, let me say this, even in the bedroom, you gotta set boundaries. Certain things she will do with you, brother, that she will not do with another guy. And it's all depending on what? Your level of trust. There you go. Let me see. I don't know if you heard me, but you
I had to come off real quick.
Sorry. So even in the bedroom, LD After Dark, I see you. You got to set boundaries. Certain things, what? That she will do with you that she may not do with another guy because she can trust you with her boundaries and she's willing for you to go what? To the next level.
A clear indication is if she's doing some of her own work.
Well.
I don't know. Did that go over anybody's head?
Work.
She's willing to do some of her own work in front of you. She has not accepted you into her boundaries yet. Like,
well, all right.
You don't mind you being in the room, but if she hasn't given you some of those responsibilities, then there's some boundaries you're not ready to cross yet.
Not ready. So I hope you guys got what we're talking about because this is really applicable to game because you don't hear people talk about this. I know I scavenge YouTube. Nobody's telling you about the importance of the game that you must set boundaries. They say you just got to talk to the girl over there. You got to do this. You got to do that. You know, you got to do this. But no one's telling, yo, bro, you got to have boundaries for yourself. Then you got to set boundaries for the woman that you're dealing with, situation that you're dealing with, business that you're dealing with. Because if you do not, guess what's going to happen? As Jono said so eloquently, said it so good, he said what? You will get what? P-A-P-L-A-Y-E-R. You get P-E-D, played. I don't know what happened to your thing. There you go. Played. And I think a lot of people, you've been played in the game because you never set boundaries. And you, man, I'm talking to you, brothers, have not set the tone with the woman. You have not said, this is what I go for, and this is what I do not go for. If you, we got to get a number for today. I forgot, we got to get going, man. This is, Yeah, the doc was trying to rise up over here about some sexual healing stuff. Let's see who we're gonna get the number for today. Who's in who's in here? Let's get the number. You, my dude, this is my first time seeing you in here and you commented. Yo, I want you to give me the first number to come to your mind. First number I want you to put in the chat room so we can get ready to do this because it's gonna tie into what we're doing. Rod D, is that Rod D? Original, put a number in the chat room. Set the tone. Yeah. This is what I do. What? To get you in the man, I wish you could allow us to play music. Well, this would be a whole thing going on here. Certain, this is what I do to get you in the mood. So it looked better, huh, man? It looks much better.
Yeah, the speed. I mean, telling you, the sync thing was the biggest problem.
Yeah,
it's fixed now. It wasn't that it was jumping on like it's like your voice was not caught up with your mouth movement. So it works a lot better now.
Okay, he's taking too long, so I gotta go. Give me a number, Jono.
6.
6 is the number. 6 is the number. Oh, I'm about to put 666. To put that.
Actually, you should put, it could be 86 because if you don't get this right, you'll be 86.
Ow. 686 is the number. That's the whisper. You know about the whistle. Somebody say 9. He didn't come in. Charlie said 9. Y'all giving me numbers, boy. He said 54. Okay. He finally came up. So we're going to go with your number because I did ask you. It's a reason. It's double reason why I'm asking. 54 is the number. 5 plus 4 is what? 9. Okay. 54. It took a minute for him to respond. 54. Let me did I put it in there? There we go. Yeah, it's much better, man. So this is Lawrence D. Allen. Got my dude, Jono. We was throwing some fire today. Tish like he must have cloned him because he a different person today. 54. So 54. So what I want you to have 54 reasons why you need to set boundaries for yourself. 54. 54 reasons why you need to set boundaries for yourself and for why you need to set boundaries for others. If you don't set boundaries for yourself, you will get played and played and played and played, and you will get burnt out. You'll be taken advantage of, and you got to listen to 54 more. You got to listen to 54 more videos from me to catch up why you didn't do it this time on this 54th day to do it. I'm telling you, you need to get on this. So you need 54 reasons why you just said, "What you got?" I see you, John. I see that mind clicking.
54 relationships before you get it right.
Right. Right.
54 jobs before you're a CEO.
Yeah. 54 reasons why you need to set boundaries for everything, everyone, children, dogs, cats, catfish, turtles, doves. Everyone had to have what? Set boundaries. What's going on? Oh, who's that? What's going on, my bro? That's a big
54 no's until yes.
Right. All right. 54 reasons. I got 20 to 21 questions. I see you. That's a big A number. So you need to have 54 reasons why you need to set boundaries. My dude, listen. This is my dude who he teaches dance. Okay. Inside of the dance class that I was part of that he invited me to, there are boundaries in the dance. Mm-hmm. I know I gotta go, man. God dog, man. Darren, please say something about that, Darren, because I know you're listening, bro. You at work drinking that coffee. Maybe not coffee, tea, or whatever. There's rules to the dance. There's boundaries. And if you don't pass the boundaries, they told me in class that I was in there, walk through the woman.
Whoa.
Walk through her. I say, walk through her. Walk through her. Because she needs to follow the man's lead. But anyway, Darren,
54 successes before you succeed. 54 fails before you succeed. How about that?
Mm-hmm. Darren, come on, man. You my dude, man. This dude teaches that. He teaches the salsa. He teaches the. He did all of them, man. Come on, man. You that's a big A number. I know you're talking about asinine number. So, but yeah, we about to get out of here. This is Lawrence D. Adams. If you like this, like, share, leave a comment. Let me know. No, it's not the Chicago. Is that the Chicago? No, this is more salsa, Hitadaran, and some other things. This is not the Chicago, but even in the Chicago step, there are boundaries, rules,
boundaries.
You can't be doing a cha-cha slide and doing another dance at the same time. I'm just saying. I don't know where Darren at. He probably looking. I don't know what happened to it. But this is Lawrence D. Adams. There we go. We about to watch. Soon as I click this theme music, you know what's gonna happen. Comments gonna be like, but you know what I'm gonna do?
Time to go.